بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين محمد وآله وصحبه الطيبين الطاهرين. حضورنا الكريم، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، وسعدتم صباحا وطابت أوقاتكم بكل خير. يسعدنا أن نتواصل معكم اليوم في فعاليات مؤتمر الكويت الثالث للشراكة بين القطاعين العام والخاص برعاية معالي المهندسة نورة سليمان الفصام، وزير المالية، وزير دولة للشؤون الاقتصادية والاستثمار، ورئيس اللجنة العليا لمشروعات الشراكة بين القطاعين العام والخاص. معكم بإذن الله تستمر جلسات العمل وحلقات النقاش وباقة المحاضرات مع المختصين والضيوف الكرام. ساعات طيبة نتمناها لكم ونرجوها، ونبدأ معكم الآن أولى محاضراتنا بعنوان تجربة دولة الكويت في مشروعات الشراكة، وسيقدمها المهندس علي النصار، المهندس المدني بهيئة مشروعات الشراكة بين القطاعين العام والخاص، فليتفضل إلى المنصة.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to stand before you today to walk you through the PPP model in Kuwait and highlight our past, current, and future projects in our pipeline. But before I get into that, allow me to give you a quick intro about Kuwait. Kuwait has a population of 4.5 million and is governed by a constitutional monarchy with a democratic system. Kuwait's GDP is approximately 136.8 billion. Kuwait, as you all know, is rich in oil, which holds 10% of the global reserve. Kuwait actively encourages foreign investments, and there are multiple institutions involved in facilitating this process. The Kuwait Direct Investment Promotion Authority, which allows 100% foreign ownership, the Privatization Technical Bureau, which privatizes state assets, and Kuwait Authority for Partnership Projects, where KAPP offers long-term, low-risk PPP contracts. KAPP was established under Law 116 of 2014 and is mainly responsible in tendering and implementation of PPP projects. Projects like infrastructure, public services, healthcare, environmental services, AI, culture, media, and tourism. KAPP is highly committed to global standards and best practices, where it collaborated with the World Bank to develop its guidebook, which supports Kuwait's sustainable goals to achieve Kuwait's 2035 vision that highlights global positioning, high-quality healthcare, creative human capital, sustainable living environment, developed infrastructure, a sustainable diversified economy, and an effective government administration. Looking closely at the PPP project cycle, we can see that it kicks off with the project proposal, and after approvals is the assignment of the transaction advisor. This is followed by a feasibility study to assess project's viability. Then we go ahead and tender the RFQ phase and the RFP phase until the selection of the preferred bidder, and finally the signing PPP agreement and financial close, keeping in mind that each and every step follows a competition committee that gets its approvals from the higher committee. The PPP project is procured by either competitive bidding or tendering. As for bidding, the auction is awarded to the bidder offering the highest return to the state. And for tendering, the investor is evaluated technically and financially, taking into account high-quality service and cost efficiency. There are several types of PPP contracts used in Kuwait: design, build, operate, transfer, O&M, ROT, and management contracts. Financing for such projects are repaid through payments for the service provided by the government, end user, or both. To encourage private sector participation, Kuwait offers incentives and exemptions provided in Law 116 of 2014, which include exemptions from income tax, custom duties, and any other fees based on the decision of the higher committee. Okay, so this is the structure of a project company if its capex is greater than 60 million KD. We could see that public funds such as the Public Institution for Social Security, Zakat House, Kuwait Investment Authority, Awqaf, and the Public Authority for Minor Affairs share 6% to 24% equity. The successful bidder shares 26 to 44% equity, and KAPP shares 50% equity, and those shares are transferred to IPO after project commercial operation date. I will now be going over the completed projects we have at KAPP. Shamal Azar Al-Ula, which is Kuwait's first independently owned power and water plant. This project services a peak capacity of 1,519 megawatts, desalinated water of 107 mgpd. The commercial operation date for this project was back in 2016. In 2019, KAPP has shared 550 million shares, which is 50% of its shares, to the citizens through IPO. This is the structure of Shamal Azor, where the bidding consortium shares 40%, the Public Institution for Social Security and Kuwait Investment Authority share 10%, and KAPP shared 50%, and those shares were IPO'd to the Kuwaiti citizens. Another project we have, the Al Hayman wastewater treatment plant, which services 500,000 cubic meters per day. The financial close was in July of 2020. The project contract duration is 28 years, and the capex is 1.2 billion. The winning bidder, the consortium between WTE and IFA. Al Hayman has received many regional and global awards. Okay, so the current projects we have at KAPP, the Azor Phase 2 and 3. This project will introduce the private sector to compete in electricity and water projects and to promote efficiency. This project will service a minimum of 2,700 megawatts and 120 MIGDs. This project is currently in the technical and financial bid evaluation stage. Al Khairan Phase 1 is also an independent water and power project that will service a minimum of 1,800 megawatts and 33 MIGDs. This project is currently in the RFP preparation stage. Al Dibdiba Power and Al Shigaya Renewable Energy is a PV project and will output 1,100 megawatts with a contract duration of 30 years. This project is currently in the RFP preparation stage. The Fixed Communications Network Development Project will roll out fiber optic network to 90% of Kuwait. The agreement duration for this project will be 50 years. The qualified companies and consortiums are between Etisalat and GIC, TIM and Al Ghanim International, Batelco and Brookfield. The highway rest stops and chalet service centers is the last current project we are working on. The scope of work is to upgrade 3 highway rest stops and 6 chalet service centers. The contract for this project is design, build, operate, maintain, and transfer. Looking at the future pipeline, Kuwait has a diverse range of PPP projects currently in early development stages. We have the Al Dibdiba Power and Al Shigaya Renewable Energy Phase 3 Zone 2, focused on generating 500 megawatts of solar power in Western Kuwait with a 30-year contract. The Kuwait car auction project will create an integrated city for vehicle auctions and technical services is also underway. Another major initiative, we have the Sabah Al Ahmed Elderly Resort, designed to enhance the quality of life and healthcare for the elderly population. We also have the educational infrastructure for the creative economy, which includes rehabilitation of heritage sites like the Mishraf Palace and Chest Diseases Hospital for design and educational use. The Postal Service Company project aims to modernize and manage postal infrastructure across Kuwait to support digital transformation. Finally, there are 2 economic development zones in the pipeline, a free trade zone in Al-Nuwaisib and an economic zone in Na'ayim. both in partnership with the Kuwait Direct Investment Promotion Authority to boost private investment and trade. Each of these projects is a new opportunity for strategic collaboration with the private sector backed by KAPP structured and transparent framework. To conclude, Kuwait's PPP program stands as a model for structured, transparent, and impactful collaboration between the public and private sector. With a clear legal framework, investor-friendly incentives, and a growing pipeline of diverse projects, we are not just building infrastructure, we are shaping Kuwait's future. Thank you all for listening, and for more information, you can visit our booth in the next hall and our website. Thank you very much.
يتفضل الآن السادة المهندس بدر السلمان ورئيس اتحاد المكاتب الهندسية والدور الاستشارية الكويتية والدكتور خالد مهدي رئيس اللجنة العليا للمؤتمر للمنصة لتكريم أخونا العزيز المهندس علي النصار، والذي قدم لنا محاضرة بعنوان تجربة دولة الكويت في مشروعات الشراكة، وهو المهندس المدني بهيئة مشروعات الشراكة بين القطاعين العام والخاص.